Alright, you guys, let's keep the Keter Sanctuary train going. So to start the deck profile off for my grade 3s, I play 4 copies of Battle Sister Fromage. Battle Sister Fromage has gotten a huge upgrade since her limit break days, and she has so many useful effects that are all unique to Battle Sisters themselves. Now, she's got 3 Vanguard and Vanguard and Rearguard ability that all make her extremely helpful, but where the strategy is going with this card is that we're going to have Fromage set up our board and then gain the additional 5,000 power to all the Battle Sisters that we have to make sure all of our columns and attacks are relevant. Her deck manipulation ability as well as board spamming ability makes it really good so that we can really thin out our deck for extra triggers and key pieces while manipulating it with some of the skills that we have from our other battle sisters. One of the strongest key aspects of this card is the fact that she doesn't require much to do. You have to discard for one skill and then you have to counterblast one and soul blast one for the other skill, which is actually very cheap for this deck considering the amount of resources that we can pull back with the cards that we have. But Fromage being a new type of style for the play for Battle Sisters is extremely awesome to see. Our winning image with this card is to use her ability to have a full field of Battle Sisters, look at the top cards of our deck, and then pretty much stack the deck to make sure that we guarantee a really good drive check. And that's where we want to go, and that's why all of her abilities are so important to have that make this card extremely powerful. For my next grade 3, I play 4 copies of Goddess of the Sun, Amaterasu. Goddess of the Sun, Amaterasu is a personal choice of mine playing for the deck, but she is extremely awesome. Even though this card isn't a Battle Sister, the other Battle Sister grade 3 or grade 4 that we have, I think her name is like Panettone or something, just isn't really that good to play, so we had to go find support elsewhere. And that's where Goddess of the Sun, Amaterasu, really comes into handy. Since we're focusing our deck so much on deck manipulation and skills and effects that we can get, and just having effects that allow us to do that, means that we're going to be able to activate her first ability to make sure that our Fromage is a really strong and threatening Vanguard. We can also rely on her second ability on the rear guard in case we're having a bit of a slower game getting our Battle Sister pieces out to manipulate our deck and fetch out units that we need from the deck while keeping that strategy of manipulating the key pieces that we need to make sure that when Fromage attacks, we're going to have a really strong drive check. Goddess of the Sun, Amaterasu, helping us fetch out pieces and keep our Vanguard strong and healthy is extremely good to have for this deck, and it helps give Oracle Think Tank the extra push that it's always needed to be a really threatening clan. Moving on to our grade 2s, I play 4 copies of Battle Sister Trife. Now, Battle Sister Trife is one of the newest cards introduced to us in Clan Selection Volume 2, and she's one of the most important grade 2s that we have in the entire deck. Battle Sister Trife assists us in getting more Battle Sister pieces onto our board without using our hand, and because she does that, it's extremely helpful that we also get to manipulate the deck while using her ability. Her second ability is kind of our wind phase skill. It's like a backup win condition, as if we're later in the game, we can Soul Blast one grade 3 so that she gets additional power and we can prevent our opponents from using Sentinels from their hand. Since we are going to be manipulating the deck with the drive checks that we have, we're going to be revealing cards from the deck. This effect is really easy to achieve considering the fact that we have cards like Amaterasu and Fromage in there to get that, and the revealing effect and checking effects that we have are just a part of Fromage's skills. So the second ability is extremely easy to achieve. Trifle, being able just to get us everything that we need and be a finisher, is really helpful to Battle Sisters because this way we don't have to rely on beatdown alone. For my next grade 2, I play 4 copies of Battle Sister Macaron. Battle Sister Macaron is just the big beat stick for this deck. She can easily become 29k on her own, and because she is a Battle Sister, we do want to max out 4 copies of her, so that this way when we call Trifle out, we have a high chance of seeing this card. You're just using this card for the big beat stick and the name of Battle Sisters, so that this way we have really strong attacks coming our opponent's way. And for my last grade 2, I play 3 copies of Battle Sister Chokette. I'm playing 3 copies of Battle Sister Chokette because she's a grade 3 searcher for the deck and she's also a grade 3 revealer. This card is one of the many ways that we're going to be able to activate our Amaterasu if we were to find her out and give the additional power to our Fromage. She also gets 5k on herself, helping making her own beat stick when you apply the power bonus from Fromage, so that this way all of our Battle Sister attacks are extremely strong and relevant. She's also good as a second Vanguard because if we're having a hard time finding our Fromage or another grade 3 that we want to call out, because we really want to be able to ride Fromage as she's the most important card in the deck, that means that we can rely on her as a backup grade 3 searcher in case we fail with our grade 1 grade 3 searcher. And now I'm going to showcase my grade 1s. So I play 2 copies of Battle Sister Panettone. Panettone was originally a Bushiroad promo, but they gave all of us regular people the chance to finally get hands on her and play her just for our regular decks. Now Panettone is a card that puts herself in the soul, and she has the ability of giving us trigger manipulation and bumping up our triggers. This is extremely helpful as since it's a Battle Sister, we can use Trifle to call it out like most of the other cards in the deck. But because she doubles the effects on triggers, that means that if we were to apply any of that power to one of our other units, our units are going to skyrocket in power. And if we put on like a card like a Trifle, that means that she just becomes a lot more threatening and deadly. I'm only playing 2 copies of this card because there are other more relevant Battle Sisters that I want to play. But if you want to play 2 to 4 of this, I fully support it. For my next grade 1, I play 4 copies of Battle Sister Torios. Battle Sister Torios is just an easy beat stick, and she gives you a free card as when she's placed, you look at the top card of your deck and it's a Battle Sister added to your hand. So it's literally just a free +1. And the additional 5,000 power is just extremely helpful as well, as this way all of her Battle Sister attacks will be relevant when we're boosting behind our Fromage and our other units. For my next grade 1, I play 4 copies of Battle Sister Casada. Now, Battle Sister Casada is another big beat stick. She is the grade 1 version of Macaron, meaning that if we were to pull a drive check during our battle phase, she just makes our Vanguard a lot more terrifying, and we can easily break over double defensives with her. I'm just playing this card at 4, but this is one of the cards you can drop down for another Panettone if you want to play more of that. But I'm really just playing her because she really does catch her opponent off guard when you give that additional 10k from the triggers, and they just don't see it coming, and it's just hilarious to have. And there were just so many times it just came in clutch, and I felt like 4 was the max amount that I need to play for her in the moment. But I don't regret my decision so far. And then finally, for my last grade 1, I play 4 copies of Divine Sword Ame-No-Murakumo. This is a grade 3 searcher for Oracle Think Tank. We want to be able to find our Fromage. We don't want to ride any of our other grade 3s, but if we were to get Gods of the Sun Amaterasu, I just see that as deck thinning for our other Battle Sister pieces. So having this card get additional 5k on and find our Fromage is his main purpose for the deck. And finally, for my triggers. So, for my trigger lineup, I play 4 copies of Battle Sister Ginger. I play 4 copies of Battle Sister Tiramisu. I play 4 copies of Battle Sister Brioche. And I play 4 copies of Divine Sword Ame-No-Murakumo. I play 4 copies of Divine Sword Kusanagi. And then for my starter, I play 1 copy of Godhawk Ichibiyoshi. Now for this deck, I am playing the Critical Sentinel. And the reason why I'm playing the Critical Sentinel is because since we are a Battle Sister deck, I really do want to maximize the amount of Battle Sisters I'm going to have in the deck available to me and the amount that I'm going to have on board. So when I do use Fromage's skill, I can call everything that I need to at once to get the max benefit of her deck manipulation ability. And we have a Battle Sister crit, draw, and heal, but we don't have another Battle Sister Sentinel like we did in the past because, you know, this is VPremium. So therefore, I have to max out a number of Battle Sisters that I have in any way that I can, and that's why I'm playing the critical one. Plus, we are a Protect deck, which means that even though I'm playing the critical one, it's really not that big a deal because I'm going to get a Protect 1 marker anyway, unless I'm in some weird scenario where I need to go Protect 2, but that never happens at all. Alright you guys, so we have reached the point in the video where I finally talk about what the best marker is for the deck. Now early in the deck profile, I stated that I was playing Divine Sword Kusanagi as my Sentinel, which means that it's only natural that I go for Protect 1 in most of my games. Since Divine Sword Kusanagi is the critical Sentinel, 30k shield is nice, but there are decks that can simply just get over that, or there are decks that just demand that we play multiple Protect markers or just have more defensive options. And because we are a Protect clan, the 5k power from Protect 2 is nice, and we do have no problem making a board, meaning that we can easily do that. But because we're not focused on rewriting a grade 3 a bunch of times, more like maybe once or twice just to get Trife off, or if we have a skill where we soul charge into the deck, then that's okay. But most of the times I find myself going into Protect 1 so that I just make sure that I have all the defensive options that I can, so when I go up against my opponent, I'm not really worried about anything. Alright you guys, so that is it for the deck profile. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give this a thumbs up. It really does help the channel. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. I have a lot more videos coming out soon. I want you guys to be the first ones to know about it right away. And if your friend's looking for a Battle Sister deck profile to play, go ahead and share this video with them. This deck profile is just research, play testing, and my own personal taste and experience from all of my other games. I have a lot more deck profiles coming out before the end of V Premium and the entrance of Overdress, so stay tuned for that. Peace.